Let's talk about Liverpool a little. Yes, Liverpool fans, I'm going to talk to you about you guys today. Strap in. I know you guys weren't happy I didn't speak about you guys against Milan. Today I'm going to talk about you guys. Comfortable. Back to business. Business as usual. Impressive. Impressive is the only word I can use to describe Liverpool right now. That Forest result was a poor one, but it's important to kind of follow up those results with commanding performances to kind of put that in the back of your mind. The game against Milan for me was expertly managed by Liverpool. I think they did so well to kind of bounce back from that early test. Milan looked really good for the first 3 or 4 minutes, and then from that point on, Liverpool were in cruise control. And then today against Bournemouth, taking care of business within like 30 minutes. 3-0 up in the first half. Salah didn't even really get going today. You take that if you're a Liverpool fan, man. The goal from Darwin Nunez is just sensational, right? But this is what I was saying about Nico Jackson. Those moments are great moments. No one can, that's a sign of quality that proves that there is a good player in Darwin Nunez. No one's questioning that. But those goals don't really do anything to kind of make me feel confident that Darwin Nunez is going to kind of get it together. Personally, that's just a moment of brilliance. But again, if your goal catalog is full of like 6 goals like that, for me, that's a little concerning. And I think Michael Owen made a really, really good point last season, I think it was, where Darwin Nunez had that chip over the goalkeeper from like this crazy distance. And Owen actually said, for me, that's a bad finish. Like he scored it, but that's a bad finish because those are the ones where you should be just slotting past easily the keeper and you want to score like 10 to 15 of those a season. That's how you build a goal catalog and kind of end the season on 20 goals. You can't have 15 goals that are all just like world-class goals. Not if you want to be an elite goal scorer, unless, like I said, unless you're Messi, Suarez, CR7, and he's not. Darwin, for me, is a good player overall. He holds up the ball well. He's fat. He's a great athlete. He runs the channels well. He's a handful, and he's capable of moments of brilliance. But Darwin Nunez will always remain frustrating for as long as he's not scoring the simple goals. Like, if I'm a Liverpool fan, today's goal by Darwin Nunez wowed me, but it doesn't really make me comfortable or confident for next week if he's starting the game. Jota, for me, could probably never score that goal, but Jota scores the easy ones. Jota one-on-one, it's no question. Jota 5 yards out, it's no question. Darwin Nunez, there's still a question about that. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. You need boring goals. Bro, if you want to be a top goal scorer, I'm sorry. 75% of your goals are going to end up just being tap-ins or headers at the back post or 1v1 finishes. Back him. I'm not saying don't back him, but I'm saying for me, great goal, great moment. But that doesn't change my really opinion on Darwin Nunez. It doesn't. I already knew he was a talented player. I've always said that. I think it's hard to say he's not talented, but he's frustrating and he's not clinical. And today, that didn't change my opinion on him personally. As someone we need to talk about though, and I don't know, I'm seeing a lot. What's that one Drake lyric? I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know last year. Who the fuck are y'all? Hey, Luis Diaz Hive is closed, man. It's closed. Please. I don't want to hear it. The time to hand in your admission ticket is gone. Stay outside. The party's closed. For those who believed in him, we'll stay on this side. Luis Diaz. They laughed at me, you know. You're an aesthetics merchant. You're an aesthetics merchant. All Luis Diaz does is dribble. All he gets gassed for is running with the ball. Oh, look who's laughing now. The second top goal scorer in the Premier League after Erling Haaland. So in my eyes, he's basically first because Haaland, he doesn't count, bro. He's first in terms of the humans. In front of goal, right now, Luis Diaz is clinical, bro. Right now, Luis Diaz is playing clinical, man. I think under Arne's slot, right, he's positioned closer to goal, and I think his role in this team is more as a finisher of moves. I do think so. I think under Klopp, he was maybe playing more as like an old-fashioned touchline winger. I do feel like under Arne's slot, he's kind of getting on the end of moves a lot more than he was last year. And I'm sorry, right? Last year for me, if you really apply context to Luis Diaz this season, and you guys might say this is hindsight, but I said this all of last year. It was a tough year for Luis Diaz, bro. The guy came off a massive injury from the year before that Thomas Partey kind of put on him. And then the whole situation, or was that the year before that? No, I think it was the year before that. He had that huge injury against Thomas Partey. And then, bro, his dad got kidnapped. Like, are we just forgetting how crazy that is? I'm sorry. Right? We all like to pretend like these players are like superheroes. They're not human. But bro, if your dad got kidnapped and you're basically getting messages that like, yo, if you don't pay this amount of money or whatever, you might never see your dad again. Bro, you're not going to be in the right headspace to play football, bro. And I don't think he ever fully recovered from that kind of episode until now. I truly think so. You then look going into the summer at the Copa America as Colombia went all the way to the final. Put in performances, bro. I know it was the James show, but Luis Diaz showed up. And now the way he's kind of revived his Liverpool career under Arne Slot, I think Liverpool fans, any Liverpool fan that was saying, oh, we got to get rid of this guy. Oh, I hope Barcelona put in this massive bid so we can get rid of him. We need to go buy Anthony Gordon. Y'all owe him an apology, bro. Y'all owe him an apology, man. I hope now, just because he's starting to score goals, it's like, oh, all is forgiven. Hey, I hope you guys look yourselves in the mirror as well, too. I know Luis Diaz last year was he was inconsistent. He was profligate in front of goal. It was frustrating at times, but come on, bro. This is still a top player. I always said this, right? You can find tweets, you can find clips of me saying this. If Luis Diaz is one of your 4 or 5 attacking options, bro, life's not that bad. Life's not that bad. Seriously. You're spoiled if Luis Diaz is amongst your 5 attacking options. Come on, you can do worse than Luis Diaz, bro. Another guy that we have to talk about. And again, I think the sign of what makes a new manager a good manager is when he comes in, how does he improve the players that he's already given? As we know, Liverpool didn't make that many signings this year. They wanted to make Zubimendi their big acquisition. Didn't happen. In fact, you see Zubimendi now, according to reports, is already regretting that decision. But regardless, the only guy he brought in was Chiesa. But a sign of a top new manager is when he comes in, how can he improve the guys that are already there as well, too? You got to bring your own guys in as well. I get that. But what about the players that are already there? How many of them can you kind of put your fingerprints on early and improve them? I think you're seeing that with Luis Diaz, and you're seeing that with Ryan Gravenberch. 6 games into the season, if you're to give out a most improved player, it's Ryan Gravenberch, bro. A player that since leaving Ajax up to this season was starting to look like wasted potential, was starting to look like a guy that maybe he's never going to live up to the promise that he showed as a youngster at Ajax. The move to Bayern, we all know, never really kind of got going. And last season under Klopp, first of all, the signing seemed odd at the time, given how many central midfielders, number 8s that they had already bought in terms of McAllister, in terms of Szoboszlai. They already had Curtis Jones. Regardless, where did he kind of fit in? I don't think his season ever got going last year under Klopp, but this year under Arne Slot, he's been one of Liverpool's standout performers, man, in every single metric. By the way, he's playing as like the deeper midfielder, kind of to subsidize the fact that they don't really have a out and out defensive midfielder. But the way Ryan Gravenberch is playing right now, breaking up play, the guy's an absolute monster in there, bro. You look at him; he's a big guy. There's no reason why he shouldn't be defensively strong. He's athletic. He's tall. He's lanky. On the ball as well, too. Very, very good passing range. We saw it at the international break, by the way. I think this is the first time we talk about Liverpool post-international break. But did you see that performance for the Netherlands against Germany? Come on, bro. He was balling out. He had the assist. But even that cross-field pass that he played for that guy in on goal. He's a very good passer. You look at his ability to kind of carry the ball with long strides and drive and weave his way through midfield. Gravenberch is we've all known that, right? He's always been a talented player. But now, and this is what I always love about football, and I'm talking about a Liverpool player here. I'm a United fan, but for me, I maintain this with every player. I am a massive fan of seeing talent achieved. For me, there is no agenda for a team bigger than my desire to see talented players reach their fullest potential. As a football fan, it's my favorite thing to see. Because, bro, we talk about rivalries, tribalism. I hate Liverpool. I don't hate Ryan Gravenberch. What the hell do I have against Ryan Gravenberch, bro? Because he plays for Liverpool. He could have played for United in a different reality. But I love seeing talented players achieve their potential. Doesn't matter who they play for. And in Gravenberch, that's a real talent right there, bro. So to see the way that he started the season, I tip my hat off to him, man. I tip my hat off to him. And that's the failure to land Zubimendi might have been a blessing in disguise. There's no way to know, unless they go in for him again, how Zubimendi would have worked out for Liverpool. But the way Gravenberch is playing right now, so good, man. And then finally, this guy, Trent Alexander-Arnold. 100. Let me say that again. 100 goal contributions as a right back. 100 goal contributions. 100 as a right back. What can you say? What can you really say, man? At 25! Yo, man, come on, bro. Come on. That's a generational player right there, man. That's a generational talent. By the way, yeah, I loved his assist for the goal. It's very un-Trent-esque in terms of assists. As far as Trent assists go, it's not vintage, let's be real, right? It's not your typical Trent outswinging cross that perfectly finds Mane's head. It's not a pass from deep that kind of goes over the top. It's not a vintage Trent assist. It's very different, in fact, to what he normally goes for. In fact, if I'm honest about who Trent reminded me of today for his assist, this is for the older gen, right? But he was looking like Maicon on that assist, bro. The way he picked up the ball wide and deep and completely just bulldozed his way through the center of the pitch before eventually laying it off to Diaz. That was Maicon-esque, bro. And by the way, right, all the people who laughed at me over the summer when I was saying, for me, Trent should never, ever play a day of his life in midfield, because at midfield, I find him an average player, but at right back, for me, he's the best right back on the planet. And people, I thought they were going to go at me for saying he's average in midfield. People had more of an issue for me saying Trent's the best right back in the world. because he can't defend. Hey, I watched him against Milan the other day, right? And Leao had a few good moments, but did Leao shred Trent to pieces? Did anyone think that Trent was completely ripped apart by Leao? A few weeks ago, was Trent completely ripped apart by Rashford? Or did he have Rashford quiet for most of the game? Come on, guys. Come on, let's be real. This is the best right back in the world, bro. There isn't a right back on the planet that holds the offensive value, the attacking value that Trent provides. There isn't a single right back on the planet. There isn't one. Koundé's a better defender than Trent, but Koundé on the ball, that's galaxies away from Trent. There is not a single right back that holds more offensive value in his game than Trent. And I'm sorry, right? There are better defenders than Trent. There are. That I can't argue, right? But the question is, does the defensive value that they bring to their team outweigh the offensive value that Trent brings to his? Like, is Koundé's defending more valuable if you're a coach than the genius that Trent provides you on the ball? For me, no. For me, I'm taking Trent and building around his offensive play while also building a defense and a team able to kind of minimize his weaknesses before I take a great defensive right back that isn't half the player Trent is on the ball. The way I view it, that's the way I see it. Just the way I saw it with Dani Alves, by the way, right? Dani Alves was not a lockdown defender. Marcelo, for me, I always said it throughout his career. People will argue now he's an underrated defender. I thought Marcelo was an average defender at best, personally. But I'm sorry, he dominated Real Madrid's entire left flank for a decade. He was the best left back on the planet for years on end. There wasn't a point where my man Ancelotti or Zidane are saying, yeah, Marcelo, he's the greatest creative threat that we have in our entire team. He can create chances out of nothing. He has the first touch of an angel. But you know what? Man, I wish we had, I don't know. I wish we still had Arbeloa. Or I wish we still had Fabio Coentrao. No one said that. Instead, they said, okay, we have a guy that can completely dominate an entire left-hand side because Cristiano is going to drift inside and it's going to give us the entire flank. We have a guy that can completely dominate the left-hand flank and he's going to be the most creative player on our team. Real Madrid's most creative player during that three-peat run was a left back. And not once did Zidane ever think, maybe I should actually get someone better defensively. Because no matter how good that guy would have been defensively, they couldn't give you going forward what Marcelo did. For me, it's similar to Trent. It's similar to Trent, man. What he gives you on the ball is way too valuable for me to take a guy who's just better at defending. And look, Liverpool fans are probably gassed off what I'm saying right now. Let me offset this by saying this. If Reece James could have stayed fit, then we could have had a conversation. I still probably would favor it towards Trent, but we could have had a conversation there. Because Reece James, man, look, laugh all you want. That's a damn good talent right there, bro. Reece James is a damn good player. In terms of completeness, in terms of being very, very good defensively, while also being so good at driving up forward with the ball, crossing. Trent's a damn good player. But I'm sorry, right? Trent has more goal contributions for Liverpool, I think, I read today, than Reece James has appearances. That's the conversation ended right there. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you can never show it, I'm afraid for Reece James right now, man. Honestly, I hope he comes back. Like I said, I'm a believer in talent. But right now, you know what Reece James is reminding me of right now? It's reminding me of Owen Hargreaves. In terms of we see him one game, and then we don't know the next time we're going to see him. And randomly, we'll get just random injury updates of, Reece James's return is unknown, or Reece James has aggravated an injury he already has, extending his time out. I remember that used to be the talk around Owen Hargreaves from his second season at United onwards. And Owen Hargreaves never became the same player ever again. For me, that's my concern about Reece James, bro. But on the subject of Trent, congratulations on 100 GA. I'm sure in a few years we're going to be talking about 200, man. And the only question that remains with Trent is, will those 200, the next 100 be with Liverpool, or will it be with him wearing a white jersey in Spain? That's the only question. But shout out to Liverpool, man. Honestly, they continue to look like one of the strongest teams in the league. They now lead the league, obviously with City and Arsenal still to play. But yeah, man, Arne Slot, I think he deserves so much credit, man. I think he deserves so much credit.